The big problem I have is that about every fifth or sixth time I start this lathe, I forget to take the Tommy bars out of there. And so they get ejected out of the lathe. They've never hit me. They usually just end up under the bench over here or just on the floor. They haven't really hurt anything, but I realize that is a safety issue. Here's the plan. I have existing Tommy bars that I made up. Actually, I turned these on the Unimat out of a 1/4-inch stainless rod. And it's just a real simple little thing. I just turned down a little stub, a 160 thousandths diameter stub. It's about a 1/4 inch long, and that's the part that engages into the lathe chuck, and it works very well. So we're going to add a spring, and I'm going to make a spring that looks like it'll be the right diameter. I want it to be approximately 1/4 inch in diameter, thereabouts. So I'm going to monkey around with my piano wire until I get a spring that is approximately right for this. And then once I have it, what I'll do is I'll turn down this little section here of the existing Tommy bar to allow the spring to come over the top of it. And so the idea is that this will be, I call it an interference fit, but it'll just be a tight fit so that the spring will kind of get stuck on here, if you will not easily come off. It will retain. So that's the basic plan. It's a very simple thing. The spring probably will have 10 or 12 coils. I'll have a couple of close coils at the end here so that it'll provide a good surface to engage with the chuck. This is part 2 to an earlier video that I did outlining the problem, and I asked the YouTube community for potential solutions. And I just wanted to acknowledge the folks that did reply. This is my 5th or 6th attempt at making a spring, and the setup is pretty simple. Just going to turn the lathe on to slow speed, probably no more than 50-60 RPM, and just let it slowly take up the wire, and then I'll turn it off when I feel like I've made enough of a spring. So here we go. I hope you can see this good. I've got the end of this thing wrapped in there. Darn it. I go ahead and wrap it tight, and then I'll pull it apart to get the coil that I'm looking for. Now maybe we'll get enough of a coil out of this to do both springs. All right, I think that should be plenty. Go ahead and take that out of there. And when you release this, you got to be careful because this little end here will spin. You'll have a certain amount of release of the spring when you take it out of the chuck, and the spring will come apart on you. Yep, there it went. It just released itself there. So that actually looks pretty good. So let's take it over there and play with it and see if we can get it to work. Alright, so that's the spring that has come off. We'll just pull it off the little mandrel here. What I like to do is I'll just leave 2 or 3 coils on the end there, and then I'll stretch this thing out like that. And I'll play with this a little bit till I get what I'm looking for here. But looking at this thing, I think that's about as much spring as I need, so I'll go ahead and cut that off right there. And cut that tip right there. I'm going to cut it, don't leave it long because otherwise it'll be kind of a little sharp thing to scratch me every time I use it. So that looks like that ought to work. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and machine this down just a few thousandths and see if I can get this spring to turn onto there so that it leaves a nice friction fit. Alright, so the inside of the spring, the inside diameter, is about 195 roughly, but I want it to be an interference fit, so I'm going to machine the Tommy bar down to about, let's make it 210 and see if that works. It's taking 3 or 4 thousandths a pass, still a little fat, so we'll take another 10 thousandths or so. And that'll do it. And I probably overdid it just a little bit, but let's just try it and see. Alright, so boy, I might have hit it just right. That's going on there with a bit of a friction fit. And by golly, that might work. I'm going to go try it out. Just kind of shove these down a little further. That might do it. Let's just give it a try. Now I can push it all the way in, but it's not quite long enough. So I'll just kind of pull it out some, stretch it, try it again. And there you have it. That actually works pretty good. So it's like I can push it down in there and do what I need to do, but then the Tommy bar cannot physically remain in the hole. So I think I've found a good solution here. So we're going to go ahead and machine the other one now. Okay, there's number 2. Let's see how the spring fits. That's pretty nice. It's got a nice tight friction fit on it, just like the other one. Let's have a good close look at this and see how it works here. Okay, look at that. Pops it right out of there. Well, I think that's going to be a good solution for me. The springs will not allow these things to stay in the chuck. So there's no way that I can make the error of leaving these in here when I turn the thing on. So that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, I hope you'll leave me a comment. If you have a comment about improving the design of this, I'd sure like to hear it. Thanks for watching, and if you're not a subscriber, I'd sure appreciate you considering becoming a subscriber. So this is my gallery of failures here. The first one I tried, I was just making sure I was happy with the technique. I turned it on a piece of 3/16 bar stock, and that resulted in a spring that was too big. And I did another one where I had machined down the bar stock just a little bit. It's still too big. Then I tried wrapping it on 1/8 inch rod, and that one came out much too small. And so I took the 3/16 bar and I machined it down 2 or 3 times until I finally arrived at this particular spring result here. And that turned out to be just the right size to go on to the little step that I machined on the stainless Tommy bars. I don't know about you, but I hate throwing stuff away, so anytime I have extra springs, I will bring them over here and put them in this little box, and you never know when you might need one. So those were not a wasted effort.